last session. So that would be above Zahir and Abby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So the excuse for you guys not being there is that you guys were chilling in the archives.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
guess
reading
what?
about books.
So we're rerunning the clock a little bit.
Yeah.
Everyone's still
For
on the
Abby, it
ship.
actually kind of makes sense. Imagine she just got stuck on reading a book and just couldn't put it down or something.
We're gonna rewind the clock a little bit. So you guys are still on the ship, and the others just got out of the workshop. And then you three get teleported into it.
Into the ship?
Into the workshop. So the shadows, as the moment you step out of the archives, shadows surround you and you are engulfed and then teleported elsewhere. Into
I think
a...
I'm just like in the middle of a conversation with. I'm in like the middle of a conversation with one of them. So yeah, what were you reading about? Yeah, taken.
Where in the ship were they teleported to? If you know the name?
Just the deck of the ship, the front deck.
Yeah, then they wouldn't find me.
So the moment you've been teleported, you are now in this room that seems to be decorative, all sorts of different mechanical knickknacks and whatever.
Ooh.
All sorts of machinery, all sorts of
AFK.
mechanics that are from different times. Some old, some modern, some very futuristic. As you see a giant table in the middle with a man sitting there, a very large man. Even shoot, what was your character's name again? Okay, what's the character's name?
Mine?
Yes.
Virus.
Virus. Even larger than Virus. Even larger than Lucio. With these weird looking ears. As you then realize he must be the owner of this place. As he then speaks. Well, this wasn't what I intended, but I guess we're rolling with it. Nice to meet you. Name is Rowan.
Oh, hey, Rowan. Did you make all of this stuff? Because if you did, that's really impressive.
That would be correct.
Oh, nice.
I'm someone known as the Tinkerer, as many people called me.
Ooh.
As you look around, you notice there are also doorways to other places and whatnot. As you turn to go look at them, I highly recommend not searching. At least not at the moment. As then appears another character behind him from the shadows. A very tall figure. Almost as tall as Lucio, it appears. Maybe even taller. Ah, right. This is a brother of someone that you've met. This is Raiden.
Who's he the brother of?
Lucio. Anyway,
Where's it happening? Is it just at their workshop?
at the workshop, yes.
Okay,
Rowan's workshop.
Yeah.
So, as I would like to say, since we don't have much time, as he then stands up, as he stands up, he's almost as tall as the damn ceiling. As he stands up, you realize he must be a Goliath of some sort, or maybe even a giant.
Oh.
Gee, a conversation with him between him and Abby's gonna be hilarious to look at. Abby's the size
not
of like a
much.
human child. She is tiny.
Mo's not much bigger.
As he looks at the three of you, he looks at Abby and has a kind of surprised look on his face. I did not expect to see one of my own creations come back to me.
Good evening. Been a while.
What did I make you for again? A royal family.
That is correct.
Oh, that's right. Why you teleported here. As then the three of you, in his hand, as he outstretches it, come out 3 different stones. Raiden managed to swipe them off of them as they were leaving. The 3 magical ward stones, wild magic ward stones. Since one of you can't attune to this naturally, it needs to be implanted inside of you.
Ugh.
However, doing so would not require surgery. As the other 2 fly off towards Zahir and Mo, the third one remains in his hand and starts to glow very vibrantly. As it
What's going on
then,
with that one?
and then it disappears. And Abby, you feel different, strange. There. No harm, no foul. If you would have tried to attune to it naturally, you probably would have sucked the magic out of it. Which would not have worked.
You know this better than I.
Anyway, if you would ever like to come back here, there are technically 4 people that you can ask. As you're then shadows surround you again and you are now kicked out of the workshop.
Oh man, I just got home.
These look really cool, man.
Zenek left. Alright.
Zenek was forced to go to the store with his mother or something like that.
So he might not be back in time. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
So the ship has now just landed on the shores of the Barrens. As you landed, you're all a little bit scattered, trying to devour some information that you were just given while in the workshop. Some of you may be slightly more traumatized than the others. Some of you maybe even making a slightly new discovery the moment you land on the shores. However, you also notice that Crow, Raven, Sparrow, and even Lucio himself have landed here with you. Well, let's get this over with, as Lucio says, as he then starts walking. Are you all gonna
Where-
stand around, or are we gonna get moving? It's gonna take a very
Yeah,
long time to get there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Serpent would have just instantly started slithering along.
Yeah.
So who is of the families there?
So we got
Slithering.
Lucio, we got Crow, we got Raven, and we got Sparrow.
I thought Lucio and Crow didn't like each other, but okay.
I mean, they don't. So they're walking at opposite ends of the party, but yeah. Lucio's in front, while Crow's all the way in the back.
You would be in the spot that is furthest away from both.
So the middle.
Yeah.
Walking right between them. Yeah, right.
Because Lucio almost killed me and Crow wants to. So, not particularly good.
To be more specific, Serpent will most likely be just slithering along next to Sparrow.
Just so the party are the people that were not here last session, the best way to describe the Barrens is unnatural. There's rough stone terrain everywhere, and yet the ground you walk on is smooth. There's magic everywhere, yet you cannot use a single ounce of it. And there are weird terrain.
That's a problem.
Weird terrain like structures, as almost as if it's been ripped out the ground and then put back, creating tunnels, caves, weird out cliffs, weird cliffs. I don't know. Weird mountains.
Outcroppings.
Outcroppings. Thank you.
No problem.
And everywhere, making the terrain seem very unnatural.
If one of you falls, I'm not picking you back up.
Mo
Yeah,
probably
that's
wouldn't
fine.
like pay attention to where he's standing. He would probably just like be like looking around and probably like accidentally bump into like a lot of people multiple times.
You should look where you're going.
So this could be a good point to either talk to each other or maybe ask a couple of questions to the very strange group that keeps popping up.
I'd like to ask a question to Mo.
Oh yeah,
So,
what is it?
why weren't you here for the entire boat ride?
Reading. You can ask Abby the same thing. We kind of lost track of time in the archives.
Yeah, I think that's an understatement. Is that the only thing that happened?
Oh yeah.
I feel like
we
we
got
would have
after
noticed
we
by
left
now
the
that
arch-
Abby tends to take her own time with things. However slow that is.
after
for
we left the
others.
archives, we got like sucked up by shadows or something. I don't know what happened, but then we got teleported to like this place with a bunch of like trinkets and stuff, like machines, really cool stuff. Then there is big guy, really big guy. What was his name again?
Rowan.
Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan. He said his name was Rowan. And then there was someone else there. I forgot his name as well.
Raiden.
Raiden. Okay. Yeah. So Rowan said he was the owner of the place, and I thought that was really cool. And then he kicked us out, and we got sent back to the ship.
All right then. Anything interesting happen?
Oh yeah.
I feel like
we
Mo
got
didn't pay
weird-
attention because there's a little detail of something that Rowan said that could be quite interesting for V. I think.
Yeah, V is
we
talking.
got
to,
weird.
Yeah, V's talking to Mo not because he's the one who remembered the best, it's because he's the first one who would say everything.
We got like these weird stones, and I wasn't really paying attention when he was talking about what they did, but yeah, cool stone, shiny.
Enough. It would help you to pay attention sometimes.
There's like cool machines everywhere, man. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Yes, and not all of them are particularly safe. And I look at Serpent while saying that.
Yeah. As you look at Serpent, you just notice his eyes are just wide and they're darting around.
What happened with you?
I think he ingested something.
Oh
Ah.
dear.
He's just looking very worried and also very shifty at the same time.
I tried to snap my fingers in front of him.
Like, hello?
You did.
Hello?
Oh, you awake? Anything behind those
I like
eyes?
kicking his shins.
I don't have shins. I have a long tail.
Oh, right.
He's a half human, half snake thing.
Yeah. I realized that.
I 100% imagine Mo asking V, where are the knees so I can kick him?
Yeah.
He doesn't have any knees. He is a serpent.
Your best.
Oh,
bet
yeah.
to
That
try and
that
get-
explains that actually.
But yeah, Serpent just nods to you and just continues moving.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go tell Abby about this. She's a cleric. She'll have something for that. I'll go to her.
Also looking at the other group.
I feel like you might end up walking a bit further behind than you would like. Considering she's small, I don't think she'll walk all that fast.
I'll be fine. None of them want to currently kill me. Hopefully.
Also, I like to say Graven's up front with Lucio just running around in circles around him.
makes sense.
Is she constantly asking him questions as well?
Yes.
Yeah. It seems like such a Raven thing to do.
But yeah, Serpent's just trying to keep up with the people at the front, while also listening, while also just looking around, hoping no one notices how shifty and how frightened he looks.
I don't even think I'm gonna make the roll for that. I think he'd notice pretty immediately, especially because he directly looked at Serpent.
Yeah, I think
And
he would
also
notice
because
immediately too.
you noticed immediately when he told you everything that he saw.
Abby,
Yes.
one of our party members is currently not fully here.
Pardon?
Just look at Serpent.
Oh yes, I see what you mean now.
Is he sick?
I'm afraid I doubt I'll be able.
As Crow says from
I
behind
can't
you.
tell from. I cannot tell from this distance. I'll take a look at him once we take a stop or something.
I think like when they're having this
Because I
conversation, Mo
don't
would
think
just
she'll
like
be able to catch up with him, considering he's trying to keep up with the people in the front.
Think
Mo would be
Though
like,
we'll
like
frankly, it
up
wouldn't
first.
surprise me if some of the other characters could lift her. But she probably weighs more than she seems to because of ceramics and shit.
Who do you
S and Mo
think
would probably be in the
will?
background, like Mo would be like jumping up trying to get his attention, and S would just like ignore it.
With all of your Klecker experience, who do you think will become tired first?
Hmm.
For a better layout of the group, we've got Sparrow and Serpent on the left. We've got, I believe, Virus and shoot. Virus and Sky are on the right. And then we got you three in the back with Lukiel and Raven taking up the front.
Okay then. My money's on Mo.
Well, yes, considering the amount of jumping he's currently doing, I would not be surprised.
Hello, you there? Come on. You all right there?
And this
Why-
one is
why
kind of
did-
on his shoulder.
I feel like
Um,
when Zene no when Doug is I keep mistaking one for the other. I apologize. When Doggo like jumped and his voice kind of faltered there, I feel like he stumbled on something and almost tripped.
I will.
Yeah. Serpent will notice. What's his name?
Mo.
Mo.
Oh,
Mo. Will notice Mo jumping and just pick him up like a child.
Now put me
will-
down.
Well, at least I won't have to be the one to pick him up.
Yeah, I guess someone picked up the tiny.
And put him on his shoulders.
look, Mo's not the only tiny being we have with us, but the other one's a machine, so she could probably
No.
run for a while.
The only one who wouldn't crush someone when they try and pick them up. I know Warforged are quite heavy.
She's
not
not
testing out that,
technically
no.
a warforged. She's not made of metal. She's
Yeah,
made
but
of
still would
ceramics
be-
and wood, I believe.
Still would be
Yeah,
quite
most-
heavy.
You could still make warforged out of wood and ceramics and stuff. That it doesn't change what they are. Just, you could make a fucking robot out of hardened paint. And it would
In
still
my
be a robot.
brain, Abby, your character is technically a Warforged, but you go by a different name.
I don't know. You don't like the name or some shit.
I don't know. She insists on calling it what it's called because that's what she was told she is.
By the way, V is just like how big is the group?
It's a pretty sizable group now, I believe.
I think V would be like a bit annoyed at the sheer scale of the group. Like every single time he's looking for a bit of calm, trying to read his notebook or writing it, and there's just always a new noise that's there to annoy him.
Occasionally, Mo's just gonna like pop up behind him and hey, what you writing about?
I mean, you could roll a perception check.
Sure. My Mo's gonna try to like take a quick like glance. 14 plus wisdom. My perception's wisdom, right? Oh, I have plus 5 in that. 19.
Okay, so like as you just like look at it for a second, you just read like someone's name called Owen. So like their occupation, their gender, how old they are, how tall they are, how much they weigh, literally everything about someone who you have no idea who that is before V points the notebook away from you.
Creepy.
Creepy.
Some pretty interesting stuff you're writing about there. Goodbye. And Mo like scurries away.
Very interesting.
Cat.
Cat.
Cat?
Cat.
Cat.
He's sharing his screen.
Oh,
He's got a cat. Cat. Cat.
Oh, it's the
Cat.
old man. It's the little old man.
Before you know it, it is nighttime. And you guys haven't even made it a halfway point.
Yeah.
However,
I feel
this
like
is-
Mo would be, considering all the jumping and running Mo's been doing, he's probably the first to fall asleep.
I'm blaming it on the small one.
He-
This
he's
is
probably
mostly
sitting on
due
someone's
to
shoulders
the
or
smaller
sleeping someone's arms.
players and Raven, even to a point. And she tagged herself out.
Well, yeah,
That
she's
makes
been
sense.
running in circles. So yeah.
Like,
I would suggest that if you're gonna do your normal thing, I suggest you make a tree to hide behind.
You saying that too?
Uh, bro.
Well, I don't plan on
What?
hiding it this time.
At least he's honest.
I think
That at this
I think
point,
how
we're
Mo would
going
go to
need
sleep.
it. At this point, we're going to need it to move faster. Anyway, as you all have now set up camp, Luki is the one who offers to take watch for the night.
I mean, V doesn't need to sleep. So if unless Lukio also doesn't need to sleep, I could just take over.
He does not need to sleep when you ask him.
All right.
Yeah, and Serpent will cast sleep on himself.
Okay.
I think how
Hey,
Mo would
wait.
fall asleep.
Wait, isn't there wild magic here?
Thanks to the
No, but-
wild magic ward stone, he has a better chance against it. So I do the Lachlan to roll, please.
Okay,
Oh.
what do you want me to roll?
A D20.
Just
If you
flat.
make
Okay.
if you make anything above a 15, you're in trouble.
Above a 15. Okay.
I got exactly 15.
Okay,
That's
we're
not-
fine here.
Okay, we're fine. That's not above.
Okay.
You're,
I think how Mo would
you're
fall
right
asleep.
on the border,
Oh.
dancing with danger, but you're fine.
Yeah. Nobody. What
Christ,
would
he
happen if
didn't
I was to
explode.
counter spell it?
Say it again.
What would happen if someone used counter spell? Because I don't have counter spell, but let's say someone does.
If
Would
you
that also
were
be
to
wild
do that-
magic?
Actually, no. Counter spell is one of the few ones that cannot be wild magic.
Okay. Well, then why do sorcerers not fucking use it?
Because they are stupid.
That's why I don't play sorcerers. Fuck me.
But if you were to use it, Lachlan just wouldn't fall asleep.
I don't know. Ask Virus to punch him or something.
Yeah, that probably work.
I don't know. If that doesn't work, I'll go ask Lukiel. I don't think he's in the right state of mind.
So, has Serpent successfully cast sleep on himself?
Yes, you're now passed the fuck out.
Okay.
I think like how Mo would fall asleep is like he would just be like running around talking to someone like, hey, so blah 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 blah. and you just like trip on the rock or like serpent's tail, and then he does not get back up.
And then you just hear a snore.
He's gone.
Cast sleep by
Yes.
standing just falls down.
If he trips over Serpent's tail, Serpent will just curl around him and cuddle him like a teddy bear.
It's gonna be
Instinctively, I presume.
it's gonna be interesting wake up.
in his sleep.
May not
Yeah, it is.
be- I may not be the most skilled when it comes to biology, but I
My
do
god,
not
that cat
think
looks so
that
tiny
concussion
next
is
to
the smartest
Sky.
way.
So when one's a
Because-
serpent, the other one's a raccoon. I don't think it's gonna work out for you.
I'm sorry. Wouldn't serpents be really cold?
Yes, technically he would.
Oh yeah,
At least that half would be really cold. So this motherfucker's just sleeping on a cold rock.
Rock.
To be
He's
fair,
sleeping on the
Serpent's-
ground with nothing more than his own clothes on him, being held tightly by something way colder than himself.
To be fair, Serpent's scales are quite soft, so it wouldn't be really hard.
Also, you can notice like V is just getting kind of annoyed because he can't use magic. So he's getting increasingly annoyed at the different things he cannot do.
At this
Sounds about
point,
right.
Sparrow will probably walk up to you. You know, there actually is a way to fall asleep.
Continue.
Well, not sure if you'll be able to do in your current state, but it might work. And she then tries to use magic for a second. Or well, she pulls out an object that seems to be magical. This thing has an enchantment that casts sleep on whoever is wearing it. It's a little mechanical heart from what you can decipher.
Already tried such artifacts. They usually do not work.
Do you still want to try it?
Is this supposed to be a trust exercise?
That's up to you, man. I'm just trying to help you fall asleep.
Right then, go ahead.
And she then puts the knuckles on you. I would like you to make a saving throw to not fall asleep.
Specifically.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
Okay, then that is is that a strong stat for V? Yes, that is. It's not his strongest, but it is a strong one. He gets yeah, that he didn't roll well. He rolled a 7.
You are knocked the fuck out.
Okay then. All right then. I'm gonna also quickly roll for how he experienced it. If he enjoyed it or completely despised it. Oh, okay. You guys will know that. You guys will know when he wakes up.
You will also know how Serpent slept when he wakes up.
He gets
And
the
Mo, I
fucking
presume.
sleep.
yeah.
Virus is already asleep, by the way.
You're dead.
Who is still awake at this point?
Not
Me.
fuck
I guess
V.
that-
Not me.
I would be up a bit late.
So I wanted to be known at this point, both Raven and now Sparrow are also passed out. So it would be at this point the only 3 ones awake would be Abby, Crow, and Luciole.
Which is a combination.
As Crow seems to be looking around for something. He then seems to spot it and he starts to run behind. It seems to be a really giant rock. And then Abby, you then hear this weird, what sounds like bones snapping or maybe even cracking and twisting of something. As you then feel a giant release of magic. As the moment something steps out behind the rock, as it is a giant wolf, almost the size of Luciole, maybe even bigger,
Oh.
with a third eye in right the middle of its forehead.
Uh, Does everyone else that are awake see this thing, or is it just me?
Well, you're the only one awake besides Lucio.
Oh.
It's normal. Just leave it be.
I see. Curious being.
That, and it's going to be helping us move faster in that form than his other one. You'll see in the morning.
I see.
And at this point, suddenly he is standing in front of you as he points his finger right in the middle of your forehead. Now, sleep. As you then fall asleep.
Falls asleep in quotation marks. She's turned off or powered off or whatever you want to put it.
Temporarily shut down.
Because
You found
that
off-
is in the description of the species I used for her, is that you can't actually turn them off
Yeah.
despite running on magic.
He found the off switch.
Let's just
Wait,
say
speaking of, could I turn Abby off?
no. Technically, Luke, you're the only one that knows a way to do that.
Well, called on or off, so you know.
Well, Luciel is the only one currently in this group, I would assume. I believe Rowan would be fully capable of turning her off.
Yeah. Yeah, it purely depends on
Your knowledge
what
of
you
Warforge.
I mean, I don't know if Sentinels count as Warforged, but you know that's a very common. What is Loki doing, by the way? What is Loki? Is Loki just sitting there like a fucking robot?
He's sitting there standing guard around your body, yes.
Also, I'm just gonna say this: V is not having a peaceful sleep.
Uh-oh.
I may or may not
Great.
have rolled a nat 1.
Oh god. Never again will he ever sleep.
Yes, you'll never let that happen again.
As you now
Okay.
have waken up to the morning sun, as it's just rising. And I mean everyone, you're all not awake.
Yeah.
And as you-
Serpent awakes screaming.
Mo also awake screaming.
V awakes and he just sits there.
While
Virus
still holding on to Mo.
You know what? Virus wakes up and just slaps. No, they're locked in
So he wakes up worried about the screaming around him.
I
Yeah, the screaming between the serpent and Mo woke most of them up. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Virus will just slap Serpent.
as the rest of you are
Hard.
waking up, everyone except for I believe Abby and V would turn over and see the giant wolf that is now Crow.
Mo screams even louder.
At
Okay,
this point, Serpent has.
Hey, did I know
gotten his
silence?
bearings and
Hang
he
on.
Covers,
Tell
he
me at which
covers Mo's
scream.
mouth.
Yeah, tell me at which scream V wakes up.
Probably Mo's,
Which
because Mo's will be
scream?
higher pitched.
Yeah. You just I
Like a
I don't know
dog
if anyone
whistle.
looks. Yeah. I don't know if anyone looks at V while he's like this, but he looks like that. You can't see his expression, but he clearly looks distraught. Like this is the first time you have seen something from him that isn't complete calm.
If I had to guess, it was a
Cool.
nightmare. Sparrow is now next to you.
How in the hell do you let that happen to yourself?
I think your first experience be a nightmare must be something.
Well, not everyone gets a nightmare every time they sleep.
Nothing. I couldn't think. I couldn't think. I couldn't move.
As I
No.
said,
How do you get that? How do you let that overtake you?
it's an actual thing. I guess.
This is.
Hmm?
This is the fear that washes over all of you every night.
Not,
No.
not fear exactly, but it's just normal.
No.
You don't like
Never
normal.
again.
You know,
V is anything but normal.
Yeah, they just
Considering-
like.
considering grandfather says the same thing when I ask him about it. You know what? It makes sense. And she then walks away.
You can just see him. He just sits there, not even on his nose or anything. And then at some point, he remembers about his notebook and his staff. Immediately starts checking up on them, thinking them someone might have touched them, someone might have used them, realizing that no one used them, and then just goes back to just sitting in silence.
Yeah,
so
you'll
you
get
know,
used to it
throughout-
if it does
throughout that,
ignore.
Serpent is still holding on to Mo, like a teddy bear, like still just looking around, holding them.
I imagine that he'd rather be like holding up Mo as like a meat shield or something when he sees the wolf.
No, he's actually quite intrigued by the wolf.
Are you still holding me, by the way?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I'm gonna try.
That's what he
Can I
just
try to like
said he was
squirm? Can I like
doing.
roll? What is it like? Strength,
Strength.
to try to get out.
Roll strength.
Oh, wait, I sure hope I don't have a
mi-
mi-
try and keep him. in
I have a
my hand.
-2 in strength.
Technically, you would have
10.
to roll strength, Lachlan,
Yeah, you have to
if
roll
you're gonna
strength as
keep
well.
him grappled. It's a
That
strength competition, I
is
believe.
That is a 12.
You. I got a 10.
Oh boy.
You staying.
As the wolf like opens one of its eyes, we all just stop screaming at this point. We need to get moving. As you hear his crow's voice telepathically.
Yeah.
I think that
You
except for
should
the
get moving.
family, V would be the only person in the party who would just not be impressed. Because he's seen this before. Mo did as well, but he made Mo not completely lose his shit.
Exactly.
Which,
Like he
and
is right
V-
now.
And now V's losing his shit in the calmest way possible.
If you can't move, then get on. I see then V, as Crow approaches you and grabs the back of your shirt with his mouth, and then flings you upward as you're now on his back. We need to
Oh,
keep
um,
moving.
Yeah.
So I can walk, and I'll step off of his back. Just tell your sister
Serpent-
to never do that again.
Serpent
I don't
will,
think she will.
ask. Serpent will ask, "Can I ride on your back, please?"
Unlike the
How
rest
are
of
you
them,
going
you can
to take
actually
care?
walk.
Okay.
I
As
see
I
them-
And
still
also, how
hold
are you
Mo.
going to stay secure?
What did V say again?
How is he going to stay secure? He
Exactly.
doesn't have legs.
The way I imagined it could work, but at the same time, I'm not putting Crow through that. Anyway,
Do you mean how my tail would wrap around their belly?
yes.
Then Serpent gets a little
How
too
long is his
scared,
tail?
squeezed his. And he's basically harming Crow, so yeah, no.
So I would like it to Crow and not Crow. Abby and Mo. Want you to roll dexterity.
Dexterity.
Oh,
I
dear.
think Mo's good at that. Yeah, +2. It's decent.
Let's
15.
see. Just a plain dexterity?
Yep.
There's like a dex save.
Just a plain dex.
Plain dex. Uh, 17.
15.
The both of you are suddenly in the air and then land on Crow's back. Bo, you land a little bit more, or no, Abby, you land a little bit more securely than Mo does.
I just get like snatched out of the air, like snatched out of Serpent's hands.
Yes.
I like to think Abby just started moving because, like, we gotta keep moving. Sure. And just starts walking and then just gets grabbed from behind.
Yoink.
Oh, my cuddle thing.
It's the same. He's picking you up the same way a wolf picks up a cub. Is what he's
Like
doing. And then flinging you upwards.
midway through me like
But
at the top of the arc
surely-
for me like being in the air,
if
I'm
he
like, I'm
throws
free.
Abby on his
And I
back,
fall
that
on my
surely
face on
can't
the-
be
on the rope.
comfortable. She's
Nobody,
not
I have a-
exactly flesh.
Nobody, I have a question.
Yeah.
Would what's it called? Like like summoning wings counts a spell.
Yeah.
Wings are actually mine though, even though I don't pull them out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And okay then.
So you don't. If they're actually yours, you don't need to summon them technically.
I mean, they're mine, but I keep them away.
Okay. in
Would
that
summoning
case-
an Eldritch Cannon be considered as using magic? Or would that
Yeah.
like trigger Wild Magic
Yes.
Surge?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Aw.
Yes.
And summoning wings, in case you're wondering, would also technically can go wild.
I'll read the description of it.
Well, now that I think
Oh.
about it, if it's an actual part of your body, but actually it would not go wild, now that I think about it. Since it's an actual part of
Yeah.
your body.
Just let me check here for a sec. No, there's nothing about it being magical.
Okay, then you're good.
Okay, because I'm assuming we're speeding up. This will be the first time the party sees this. So suddenly, like as he goes off of Crow's back, he summons like these wings. It's like a pair of 6 wings, 2 large ones at the top and the bottom, and then smaller ones at the middle, kind of like an angel. White feathers, which is not what you would expect out of him, and he just flies along at the speed of the slowest person. Because at this point, if he
Pretty.
kept walking, it would likely be uncomfortable.
Pretty.
Whoa.
And so you hear Lucio say.
V's not gonna make a remark.
Crow then next
Good.
step picks up Raven in the similar manner and then starts to walk in the direction you guys have started walking.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay,
so
alright.
trying to keep up as best as he can.
Yeah. At this point, we're kind of almost jogging. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
At least most of us are jogging.
How do you jog without legs?
I guess you would just be slithering faster or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I believe Sparrow would have done similar to what you did, Earth. As when you guys start to walk, you feel a lot of magic release. As suddenly, Sparrow has now summoned giant flaming wings. Feathered, of course. Almost like that of a phoenix.
Compensating
Ooh.
for
Why does
something.
everyone have wings?
Humanoid bird. Interesting.
But,
You compensate for something.
Well,
More
The
like just what I
name, so-
am. Trust me, if they wouldn't be on fire, they would be a lot more useful. Anyway,
Have you ever tried a bucket?
that hurts. Thank you very much.
Again, not good at biology.
Serpent will just yell out, "Pretty wings!"
Thank you! And that she then continues to fly.
Not everyone needs to know that their body parts are pretty.
Would Mo
Fine.
would Mo know that wild magic is like happening here?
I believe
Yes.
so, yes.
Unless he could have forgotten it.
Oh god.
That's the only thing I could see.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'll roll if Mo like is like
Roll history.
how eager Mo
please.
is to. All right. 2 plus something.
Oh.
I don't think that's gonna pass.
Let's
Pretty
just say
important,
Mo
history.
forgot.
Before Gordon, no.
This is gonna be interesting.
Who's on Crow's back right now?
So we got Abby,
you,
Raven, and
me,
Mo.
Raven.
Oh God.
All right.
I'm scared for Abby.
Huh?
Probably
Why?
a good idea.
Yeah, because he's about to cast a spell.
Oh, yeah, no, that is probably a bad thing, yeah.
Maybe later, not now.
Cool, we're good for now.
As Crow says, please, I would rather not have my backside lit on fire.
What do you mean? I
Um,
wasn't gonna do anything.
Sparrow seems to be going through that. She seems to be doing fine.
Well, that's because I'm part Phoenix. That doesn't really help in his case.
He could adapt.
She seems to like try to contain her laughter.
Does she succeed or does she fail?
She's trying, let's say that much.
Yeah, Serpent's not really talking to anyone, but he is slithering along and he just says to himself, God, Phoenixes are lovely.
Still going insane.
Now,
Okay.
let's see. As nighttime now approaches again, you have now made it to this point of the Barrens. You guys
How
have
far
like
away?
run
Oh.
around to just here.
How far away is
Oh.
Silver to our information?
About another 10 miles from what you gathered. However, it's not just 10 miles where you've been traveling, it's also 10 miles up the fucking mountain, according to the information you received.
So we're gonna be going like
Lovely.
Still telling me I need to
Up.
carry anyone.
No, you won't. And then Lucio just seems to just fly. Crow was climbing, and then Lucio just seems to grab the back of Serpent's neck as he's then just pulling him up.
Yeah.
You'll fly like fucking
can like
Homelander.
everyone here. There's literally like everyone here have like a cool transformation that they can do. Like Mo says to himself.
You have a
I
gun.
don't.
Does he say it audibly? Because then I feel like Raven and Abby would probably hear him pretty well. Same thing with Crow.
Like a mumbling.
You have a gun.
I cast
Oh, like-
gun. Prepare to move.
So no
If-
bloody.
Oh yeah, that's right. He also grabs the here as well, Lucio.
I have a question.
Considering
I have a
Zahir
question.
is a fucking elephant.
So
Yeah,
with-
that
with
is quite
things-
impressive.
With things that are innate to the class or race, does that count as magic?
Yes.
Like, say, if it was telepathic speaking.
That
I'll be
no.
right back.
That no.
Okay.
Unless you Unless you cast something that made you telepathically speak.
As I will say, even though Aki just left, Sparrow does pick up virus.
Yeah. Serpent. Mo will just hear Serpent's voice in his head and say, "I don't have a cool transformation."
Well, like, if you look at like literally everyone here, Crow is a really Crow's a big wolf. Sparrow has fire wings. V has angel wings. I don't even know what those are. Lucio can fly.
My head.
Just
is
like, I
not
feel like
a
I'm
hotel.
I feel like I'm getting left out here. You know.
My head is not a hotel. It's not somewhere where you can just go for the fun of it.
We can see if we can do some sort of fusion dance.
Oh my god.
Oh God, no.
I already have Loki constantly telling me about what he wants to do. I promise you, I don't need more people in it.
Oh yeah, how's the robot? How's the robot doing?
So Crow is also climbing the base of the mountain, but Loki just seems to be a freaking running up the mountain.
I am currently trying to convince him to not throw a rotting tomato at any of you.
Where do you get one of those from?
Don't ask.
I haven't seen a tomato in quite a while now.
A
Where did you
ceiling.
find? Where did we find one?
Do you really think I have a bartender and I don't have a tomato?
Fair enough.
Well,
No, I am not a
Lazy cat.
grocery store. Neither a hotel nor a grocery store. Now get out of my head. Here's the thing. V would usually just shut them out, but he's so scared of casting magic that he just doesn't.
Yeah, well, the wall magic does protect you more against the Baron's magic. It doesn't protect you completely.
Yeah, V's not gonna test the fucking limits.
oh, probably is.
So I will
So-
say the wall magic was a lot more dense back on the outer rings of the Barons. Now that you're in the center, it's a lot more. It's a lot lighter.
So you know how my thing works is that I can say something to someone and they can reply in their head. I don't just read their thoughts.
I don't need an explanation on how you are using my head.
Anyway, you have now reached what it seems to be about a cliff. A giant cliff inside the mountain that has a giant opening in it. As you have now all landed here, Crow then de-transforms in a very gruesome and painful looking display as he then transforms back into his normal self.
Yeah.
And the rest
That
of you,
was
those
alright,
riding his back, were falling off.
Ah,
Question: How high are we currently?
You are
Hi, how
about
are
1,000 feet in the air.
Quite high,
Do
but
we
I'm
roll
not
like
thinking
a
about
dexterity
distance.
for
Is there
trying to
snow
catch yourself
around?
before we crash into the
Loki just said,
ground?
"Fuck it, I'm walking up."
Is there snow around?
A little higher up, but yes.
Yeah, Serpent will just grab some warmer clothes out of his bag and put them on.
it's a bag.
V
Me-
would, if he saw Crow do this, he would realize that he wouldn't really need to run anymore and would just poof his wings away.
I'm gonna ask Grow. Hey, does like turning into the wolf and turning back, is that like painful? It looks pretty painful.
Unfortunately, a little bit.
Sorry for that. And then he would just like run around. I don't know.
I would just whisper to Sparrow a little bit.
It's a lot more than you think.
Kind of what I considered.
So
Alright,
at this
so we just
point, he's
start
a lot more
walking.
used to it. But yes, you'll start walking into the cave now.
Give it a century.
As you're now
Or two.
walking. Ah, my god, I dropped the fucking thing. Okay. Anyway.
The fucking.
Anyway. As you're now walking into the cave, you realize the path you're walking on descends. Almost like it's going deeper into the mountain.
Oh.
It's not like a very steep incline, but it descends further and further and even further.
Question: Is this going around in a spiral or just straight?
A spiral.
Yeah.
How long until Loki gets bored and just jumps down the middle?
Well, Let's see. Let's give it another 9 minutes. Let's see.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
You-
I'm just trying to convince Loki to not kill himself
Also, Aki, just so you know, you're now walking down a very, very long tunnel
Got it.
into a mountain.
into a mountain.
A mountain.
How blessed virus was dragging up the mountain again?
By Sparrow.
Okay.
Somewhat like literally half his size.
Lukio took the heavier two, anyway.
Fucking yes, well done. He took the fucking elephant.
Anyway, as you have now reached a certain point, Lukio then says, I think we're below ground now.
I think we've been below ground.
Technically, we're underneath a mountain, but we're below floor level.
Whoa.
So we're below the ocean level.
Ocean level. There we go.
All
Hmm.
right then. How many minutes has it been?
It has been about 10 minutes now.
Oh,
So just
You cut out.
Yeah.
meow.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Not worry for
yeah.
your sentinel. It'll survive the fall.
I don't want it to
Yeah,
survive. I want it to have
so-
legs left.
Serpent will just grab some gloves out and put them on, since they're now below sea level. It's gonna slowly get cold.
At some point, as you're now walking down the spiral tunnel, I guess, not staircase, definitely not staircase. As you now is walking down it, you realize there are some giant holes, almost as if something dug through it, in the
Hmm.
wall.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
You could have dug a
Okay.
slightly more usable staircase. Or I don't know, an elevator.
Where they go, you have no way of knowing, but they seem to go up.
Up,
Anyone
and
feeling
away.
adventurous?
I mean,
Yeah.
Just keep walking. Trust me.
oh, okay.
You don't want to know
Just-
where that leads.
Just between.
You said that?
Sparrow.
Okay.
So, like, do you know, like, what made those holes? Or is it just, like, a natural formation?
Oh, you'll see when the moment we reach the bottom.
Oh, that's nice to know.
Not ominous.
At some point,
Falling
you.
apart from excitement.
In fact, now that I think about it, since we've seen the first one, Sparrow then casts a fireball. One of you does have a torch. I will say that. One of you does have a torch to see better, but she casts a fireball and shoots it to the side of the wall.
Oh, I do actually have a dungeoneering pack.
So do I.
I have an adventuring gear, so I have a torch. So
As it hits the side of the wall, a bunch of torches that were invisible until now have now illuminated.
Whoa.
These should light
Was
our
it that
way
we
all the way
said
back
about
down.
magic?
Huh?
What was it that we said again about magic?
It doesn't work down here. Down here in this part, there's no wild magic.
Well, you could have informed me, and I immediately cast dancing lights.
Well, now we can see even better.
Oh, wait, actually, now that I'm pretty sure my circuits won't short now because of the energy or whatever, let me show you something that I learned how to do back at the archives when I got left behind.
Behind.
Can I create an Eldritch Cannon because Mo wants to show off?
Please, please do not create an Eldritch Cannon right now.
Why?
So a fireball
We're
is
in
fine,
a
but
cave.
a gun isn't.
It's
I might
like
be
it can
able to
be
do some,
palm
yeah.
sized. Like,
Considering who you're about to run into, an Eldritch Cannon is not a good idea.
Take her word for it, Mo.
all right, fine.
Please.
I'll show you later.
I'll summon some target practice for you later.
Ah, thanks.
As you
Uh,
now
or-
descended, it takes about another 10 minutes, and you've not reached the ground level, which is, or at least ground level of wherever you are now. As the cave then opens up into a giant cavern. For those of you who've seen Arcane, this is going to be very similar. A giant cavern full of a city, where there's people everywhere, almost like towering skylines all the way up to the ceiling of the cave.
Are the people there like ragged and kind of look like some of them are muggers, so they're thieves, that kind of stuff?
Some of them are a bit ragged. Some of them seem to be more pristine than others. Some
Okay,
of
so it's very
them. This place is a lot more. What's the right word? I want to
Ex-
say it's a lot more peaceful than the underground back in Arcane, but
Okay, that's good because if it wasn't, then he would have probably made himself look a little bit more fallen apart.
Mm.
let's just say it's a lot more peaceful.
Yeah, because
And
man
then,
walking around in a purple suit not particularly safe.
and then at some point, you realize that you hear a giant roar. It almost seems to shake the entire cave as you then look up and see a giant wyvern.
Oh, is that the thing you were
Ooh,
talking about?
Wyvern.
Yeah, that's one of them.
One
How
of
many
them.
does she
Oh,
have now?
Pretty.
13?
It was around the 13 last time I read.
jeez.
Yeah. She's got 13 of them now. Seriously, wyvern egg hatch fast.
Yes, and they're in their natural habitat underground.
As the wyvern sees to fly over you and then over into a giant cave as it then flies up. As you can see, that's what made the holes.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Remarkably good aim.
Very pretty.
I'm just gonna say telepathically to Serpent, you say pretty one more time, and I'm gonna make Virus punch you in the face.
He'd do it willingly. Just ask him and he'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
Serpent will
think?
say
He
back
said
to
he'd
you
ask him to.
telepathically why.
Because not everything with wings is pretty. Have you ever been to the abyss?
No, but I've seen a lot of winged things.
Do they also get annoyed?
No, I often just give him food and just go on my way.
You go to
I am.
strangers with wings and give them
He would,
food. Is that
he
what
would
you said?
stop responding at such a weird reply.
Is this some kind of weird fetish?
I don't know. Maybe I'd tell Sparrow that if Serpent offers you food, don't accept it.
She just kind of look at you a little strangely, be like, okay.
I promise you, it's worse than you think.
You should leave the birds alone, or I might have to flip a coin.
As you eventually make it to the center of the town that you eventually learn is called Briar, the underground. You see a strange lady standing in the center. She looks almost human, and yet she has a horns and a tail, almost similar to that of a dragon.
Ooh, but the dragonborn,
You
the
dare.
dragon beast skin.
And this is where I'm going to leave the session off.
I
Okay.
see.
All right.
Barely turn
That
on.
was a short one.
I did warn
Yeah,
you, it would be short.